Brandon Winters, Valley Sports. Coach, I think you guys are something like 20-3 now and holding opponents to under 100. How is this defense now where you want it to be?
And we're getting there. Again, I think there's the consistency. We had some moments in that first quarter in particular where I thought we left our paint empty too much, and they capitalized on it. I think our guys have a great understanding of what we're trying to get done. When you're integrating a new guy, there's some things that he's got to figure out and how we do what we do systematically. But, the effort's been pretty consistent. And the guy's understanding of what we're trying to do, I think, is clear.
Speaking of integrating a new guy, impressions, initial thoughts from what you saw from him with your squad?
Just how well he fit, his ability to create and get to the paint. He's a hard one-on-one guard, and he's a really good pick and roll player. I think, we saw some of the plays that he made to his teammates as well. So I think he's a complete offensive player that's going to take a lot of pressure off of a lot of our guys.
Darius just told me missing piece. That's how he just described it. That's what it feels like for him. Is that what it kind of feels like for this group right now?
Yeah, I think so. I don't want to put too much pressure on him. Obviously, we want him to just play and be himself and not feel that burden. We've done some pretty good things. We feel like he's a piece that can push us further. And I think that's what we want him to be is, don't take the entire burden of, that pressure and just be the best version of himself within what we do. And then that makes us more dynamic and it helps us.
How aggressive was Evan tonight?
Yeah, no, I think he came out with a point to prove. He was definitely aggressive, asserted himself all over the game. It's good to see.
Jimmy, good to see Darius out there, obviously. Did he look rusty at all to you? It looked like the offense picked up right where he left it off.
Yeah, he's, obviously he spent a ton of time, and I know it's, not game situations, but working on his game, even when he wasn't able to do much with his back, the ball handling, the spots, the shooting, all those things to make sure that he could catch his rhythm as best he possibly could. I thought some of the turnovers, were plays that were just a little bit off time. And that's just, him getting back used to playing with his teammates getting back used to playing with him. But I thought for the most part, he was good.
You told him when you guys were up 20, were you hoping to give him the rest of the night off?
I honestly was just trying to manage his minutes, and I didn't want to, leave him out there for too long in that third quarter because I knew, what our plan is with his minutes and how we want to make sure we monitor him. So that was more of it than anything. But if we could have extended the league, I definitely would have liked to see him.
Counselor of the Athletics, JB, what did you like about the combinations of LeVert with Darius and Isaac and even then with Rondo and so what did you like about just I know it's just one game, but how they played together?
I thought it was good. I think we're trying different things now, like the combination of Doe, Caris, and Darius. When you got three guys on the floor that can handle and play, make the way that they can. And I know it wasn't a long stint of it, but we just want to experiment with some of those things and see, what defenses do, how it helps our big, what we can do with our spacing and all those things. So we're going to try some different lineups right now, and see what we can figure out what works best.
Is that I guess how much of that process do you like though, being able to see how you can combine their skill sets and play off one another and sort of find ways to expand your offense, maybe something different than you haven't had now that he's here?
Yeah, anytime you get to put more good players on the floor, it's a good thing. And, those guys can be dynamic. There's different actions and things that we can run with all three of them involved. And so again, we'll just, experiment with some of those things. See what we can do and then find what works and then really, exaggerate that.
Marla Ragnar, Agri Media Journal. Do you want to have this experiment done by the All-Star break, or do you think it might take longer than that to figure this out?
It's going to take more time than that. There's not enough minutes and not enough opponents, to get a final idea of what it could look like. Different matchups, different schemes, all those things. But again, the more we get it on film, the better off we'll be.
And when you saw LeVert dribble into the basket, fire that ball to a corner in the corner, was that just a snippet of what you thought you were going to? Is that the real him?
Yeah, that's the pressure on the paint is him, and then his ability to play make from there. I think he made, that pass, and he made a pass to Jarrett when he got into the paint. I think those are the things where he puts so much pressure on teams' paint. They're going to have to make some tough decisions on how they want to slow him down.
Just a quick one. The Coral seems to continue to be a beyond the box score guy. Did you notice that in the fourth quarter, maybe?
Yeah, I mean, even earlier, there was a possession or a series of possessions where he was matched up with Doug McDermott, and Doug was doing his thing all over the floor, and Isaac was pressuring him, had his body on him, and he couldn't even get a catch. So when you're able to do things like that, like those are the things that people may not notice, but it completely disrupts an offense.
Ashley Bassett, Cleveland.com. Jimmy, I know we talked pregame about how you like these guys to play free, that you're not calling sets on every single possession. I guess with Caris, it looked like he was looking for that stuff a lot, even if he wasn't converting on all those plays early. I guess just how happy were you with that he was willing to freelance out there a little bit?
I mean, that's his style. When you watch him, he's got offbeat rhythm to his game, but he knows how to get where he wants, and he's never sped up. You know what I mean? Like, he knows that he's trying to work his way to the paint first, but he never gets out of control to get there. So his teammates, and again, these are all things that we'll learn. We'll learn the spacing around him. He'll learn where his teammates like the ball, and all those things. So, that's who he is. That's what he's capable of. And again, we just have to do, the job and put the time in to explore it, but then learn and individually make improvements as well.
And then with Darius, I mean, I know pregame you said he was going crazy out there not playing, but back injuries can be so fickle and finicky. I mean, the fact that he made 12 of 15 shots tonight, were you at all surprised with his production on offense? I mean,
he got to his spot, and the shots that he was taking were his shots. He wasn't, put in a position where, he was uncomfortable. So, he is obviously capable. And, you got confidence that when he gets to his spot and takes his shots, they're going to go in.
Right. Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Hey, JP.
What's up?
So Rondo said the other day something along the lines of it's time to increase expectations. And then Darius said after the game that, Caris is a guy who makes us believe in a different kind of way. Do you like that those conversations and those beliefs are happening?
Yeah, I mean, I like that they believe it, but we've got to go and do the job. And it's our responsibility as coaches to make sure that we continue to do the small things that will end up preparing us for the larger moments. And we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. So, this is always a day-by-day job. And that's what our focus has to be on. And again, we'll sit back at the end of the year and then we can talk about, what we've done and what we've accomplished.
And a lot of the guys keep talking about just how special this group is and they want to bottle this and it doesn't happen every single year. Are you seeing that behind the scenes? And if so, what is your responsibility as a coach to make sure they don't take it for granted?
Yes, we see it and, we feel it every single day. And I'm genuinely, every day we go to work is a good day. And that's not fluff. That's not made up. That's real. And you can ask those guys in that locker room. And again, our responsibility is just to keep fostering it. It's to keep having those conversations. It's to keep the communication lines alive. Keep doing things, that the guys enjoy, but also making sure that we understand the big picture and, the sacrifice it's going to take and that's needed in order to do what we want to do. And, again, I have not been around a group, honestly, who doesn't want to disappoint each other the way this group doesn't want to disappoint each other. I haven't been around a group that one through as many guys that we've had here this year has celebrated one another the way that this group celebrates one another. So it is truly special, and we have to make sure that we keep fostering it and helping it grow.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, you got one there? Last one, Jack. You made me think of something. I don't think anybody thought in October you'd be fires at the deadline. Is there an organic lift that comes with these guys to know that there was a need and
Kobe and his staff went out and met that need. And like, I mean, everyone already believed we'd be able to put money on the table and say, listen, we're giving up this pick. We think you guys have something here. Here's something that you need. What kind of lift does that provide? Just knowing that they've got you there.
I mean, it's, you know, it speaks on the commitment to this group, right? Like, we've had our conversations throughout the year and we've talked about, you know, how do we improve this team, whether it's from within or from outside. But when you give your team and the players the feeling that you believe they have a real shot, you know, that again talks to the commitment, not just from the team, but from an organizational standpoint, ownership down. You know, that spurs you, you know, to want to do more. And it's always good to go, you know, to work, go to battle when you know you've got support behind you and people who believe in you. You know, that's human nature. So I think it's a big thing for our guys that, you know, our front office and ownership are willing to, you know, give up picks, you know, sacrifice, you know, some more cash to go out and go for it. And I think, you know, our guys feel that and they've embraced that.